Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome out to some more Southeastern University Fire Esports Overwatch with the first game of the playoffs tonight. My name is Fanberry. I am joined once again by Austin Clokas. Austin, are you as hyped as I am for this match?
I am so excited. I haven't experienced a true esports Overwatch playoff game yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
Honestly, this is the big one. This is the best of 5 series that decides all. Best of 5, but first to 1 win. I think it's called like best of 5, but it's also a best of 1
For
technically.
sure. Yeah.
But anyways, this is where it's down to the wire. You lose this, it's suddenly all over. For those not up to date, because we did not stream Friday night's game because Smash had a game. We, in fact, lost our first game of the season on Friday, but, you know, we can just say it was because you and I weren't casting it.
Absolutely.
That caster luck gone. But tonight's going to be exciting because not only is it the first game of the playoffs, we've also got Kairos joining us. For those unfamiliar, Kairos is a member of the Overwatch team who has not been able to play up until this point, but he's going to be able to play tonight. And from what I've heard from the Overwatch team and the coach, he is quite the spectacle to behold.
Yeah, Kairos on the tank, really great. But let's not forget that there's not just new additions on the SEU side. We should also see some new players from the PENN side of things, because PENN right now, we'll talk about this team for a second, they're bottom of their division right now. They have about a 60% win percentage, but notice that's because what we've been told is they haven't been able to have a full roster playing a match because of class schedules. So there are no conflicts for this match, so we should see PENN's full potential finally bursting out on their full roster. So don't count them out just yet. This should be a close one between SEU and PENN.
Yeah, we've got some things going on. It looks like the other teams, other colleges' production team is actually running from class right now, much like what we do on Thursday nights. So they, you know,
I can
we're not
relate
the only
to that.
ones. We're not the only ones. But slow when they are. But it's going to be a good time. So for those unfamiliar with our roster so far, we have had B and Mako on the tank, and now with Kairos being back, it's going to be Kairos and Mako on the tank, and B moving over to the support position. So we've seen B play support before, and I want to touch on this because we've talked about B just in the tank position a lot this season. He's really showed up in a lot of situations. Some situations not as much. But we've seen him play support, I believe, just twice now. And both times he's played the Zenyatta. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm really hoping for some Zenyatta tonight. I'm really hoping for it.
The thing with B is he's played some great tank over the season, but I think why they're excited to have Kairos back is because some of the players, and we've been talking a little bit about this on the cast, is B can get a bit distracted with his Zarya, you know? He can kind of go off on his own a little bit, and he's played very well, let's not get it wrong, but people are asking if they could use an upgrade at the position, and Kairos might be that upgrade that SEU's been needing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And, you know, one thing that I think has been a big thing for the SU team, and having talked to the team captain about this, is whenever they get to the third map, which for every single game so far has really just been King's Row, that's kind of the point where they're kind of losing their focus. And suddenly that's when mistakes begin to come through. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll get it.
And I think King's Row is especially hard to on offense, you know, because you all, especially on that third point, when you have that big corner you have to turn, especially against DPS snipers, it can be a really tough point to play on offense, because as you turn that final corner on the point, that's where a lot of those DPS snipers are waiting to get you. And I do understand them having trouble on King's Row because it is such a hard map to push a point on.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's also one of the more interesting maps just because, like you talked about, that choke point for the first point, but then how claustrophobic and condensed the rest of the payload path is as well.
For sure.
Is one of the more interesting things to just witness.
Yeah, now
I would say.
Yeah, now let's go back to Kairos for a second. Let me ask you, Finn, do you think that there's going to be any issues with him meshing with the team, because he hasn't played with them for most of this season?
Yeah, so I don't think so. And my reasons for that are, one, Kairos was playing with them last year in kind of the upstage of esports here at Southeastern University. And he hasn't been able to play in this inaugural season. But that doesn't matter. I know for a fact they've been playing with him a bit just on the offside, when they're just going through ranked games or quick plays for practice purposes, just on their own time. So I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I think they're going to mesh perfectly. I honestly think they might perform a bit better. Not saying that Stealthy or Gaming Legacy have performed bad at all, but instead just saying it's kind of the old team back together mentality.
And if there was ever a time for SEU to get another star on that team, it's a time such as this. First round of the playoffs, they have lost a little bit of momentum because of the loss last week. So this is the spot where they can get it back, get a win, and go on a nice playoff run.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think they have a good chance. Now, granted, other divisions are different, other groups, but considering they went almost undefeated in their group stage for an inaugural season without one of their normal players from last year is just insane. It's almost unthinkable in a lot of situations.
They've had a very impressive run, needless to say. Let's just hope they can keep that run alive. But remember, there's another issue that we have to talk about, and it's the chairs we are currently sitting in.
Oh, yes, the chairs. Everyone's favorite halftime show. For those that don't know, on Monday games, which of course go up on YouTube and not on Twitch. So hi, if you're watching this a week later, hello. How's the future? I hope it's going well. But we have...
You know what? They'll have known who our president is.
This is true. I will keep my political opinions out of this because that's not the point of this. But I hope things are going well. But anyways, we have one chair right here, gaming chair, and then
this uncomfortable
and then we've got our
chair.
Classic SEU. You can't even see it. It's not even
it's so small. There's no back
support. It's a little frame.
support.
So for those unfamiliar, Austin and I will be playing the age-old game of decision-making known as rock, paper, scissors between every single map to decide who gets what chair.
For sure, but this may be one of the last times we're doing rock, paper, scissors because SEU...
No, we're doing this. No, we keep it... No, this is under wraps.
Oh.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Big things are happening.
Then to be continued. Big things are happening. You don't want to miss it. I think, in other words, watch our future streams. Please. Especially if we win this game, because there will be a lot of those.
I think it'll be good. We're also working on getting... let's see. Unfortunately, we're going to be having just the Indie League stuff for Rocket League now.
Rocket League is in Indie League. However, Rocket League is already a solid lock for the playoffs. They've competed very well in the Indie League so far. And their first playoff game isn't too far away, so we should be seeing that as well. Yeah. And you have Fortnite streaming tonight, and Smash Bros, of course, has their Friday night game. So lots to look forward to. And they're moving forward to the playoffs as well. So plenty to look forward to in the realm of esports. It should be a very exciting next couple of weeks.
2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
We're waiting on
we're waiting for Penn State. So we're at... This is kind of like a weird... Or not Penn State. Just Penn.
Just Penn.
But no, waiting for them to get up. This is kind of like a funny irony, I feel.
I feel like it is. It's always us
this
on
is
Thursday
actually
nights,
like the first time
rushing over. We usually have either Oren or Ethan or Aiden filling in for us, but not anymore.
No, I feel like this is funny because this is the first time we've heard another team talk about like their casters. So we have competition.
We thought we were the only ones out there, but we're not.
This has now become not only a battle between Overwatch teams, but a battle between casters.
For sure. Now, Oasis. Let's talk about the map while we wait. I really like this map, not gonna lie.
Do you like all the maps on this map, or just like a
couple? Sorry, I probably should have elaborated there. I really like the map. I honestly don't know how to describe the format, but I think it's the second format where... there's the point, and then there's the pillar that kind of it branches out, and you have the high point above it. You know what I'm talking about?
You mean the city center where it's the little like...
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
What are those things called? They're like in parks? You know what I'm talking
Swings?
Huh?
Gazebos.
Yeah, a gazebo. It's like a weird looking gazebo kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah.
I actually like the university map the most for Oasis.
Okay.
Mainly because it's got the little hallway on the left side of the point, or the right side, depending, And then it's got the up area, so your hit scans can hang up there. And it's
For
even
sure.
got a lower area, so if you're a little cheeky, you can kind of Reaper down there and teleport up. It's obvious, but it's
that's a really
it's a thing
fun
you can
map.
do if you want to have a little bit of fun and do
That's
something.
a map I love playing Reaper on.
Yeah.
And let me get this clear. I like playing Reaper on almost every map because Reaper's just a character that is used in so many different ways. But
I would personally not play him the first push of Junkertown.
oh, you
like
wouldn't
that-
play
that's a me
okay.
thing.
Okay,
Just-
I can understand that. But for that map, I really like playing him sneaking around that high point. And high point is like that map especially is where you having control of the high ground is so critical.
Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely agree. So we have Oasis as our first map, and I'm thinking, don't just call me crazy, but I think we'll probably see Junkertown map too again.
I like Junkertown. I do
do.
like that map. Honestly, in my what do you think is the hardest point to get in Junkertown? Would you say it's the first push?
I would
Or would
say it's arguably the last push, just because of how close they are to the respawn point.
Especially because you have that area underneath
Mhm.
where people can try to get a little cheeky and slide underneath and flank.
Exactly. Yeah, I will say the second point is insanely hard to defend. And the reason for that is typically if you've run through the first point, you have the advantage and you just kind of press it.
Yeah.
The only thing that can really be on your side is if the attacker's kind of ult dumped there, then as defenders you're going to have your ults up and you can ult up back, but then you get on the back foot again when their ults come up first.
Yeah, I rarely see either myself or in competitive games, I really see any huge holds there in that second part. I feel like they take a while to get the first point, take a while to get the third point, but the second point is kind of a breeze.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. I feel that's
Which is
the case
Oh,
for...
sorry, continue.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case for a lot of maps. Because obviously if you get your momentum going, it's hard to stop right away.
Mhm.
But then when you get that moment to breathe, suddenly you can push back.
I was going to say it's also very similar to the way King's Row is mapped out.
Yeah.
Because you do have that first point, that first point, you know what I was seeing the other day is I saw the sim strategy a lot on King's Row. Where
That was interesting.
you would pull out a Symmetra, put your teleporter down, have the Symmetra switch out,
Yeah.
and then the entire team TPs there. I wonder if we're going to ever see that sort of strategy with these teams today.
That's an interesting point. I'm not sure, because I'm not entirely certain how PENN likes to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that with Kairos being on the roster now, or I should say being on the team, I don't know how they kind of are going to change their chemistry.
For sure.
For that.
But speaking of which, what I was hearing
here we
as we
go.
enter the game, as I was hearing the Overwatch coach say, the SEU coach, is something that's really great about Overwatch right now is there's no specific comp that completely dominates over the other. So it's really more based on execution. So who's going to win this match is going to be which team can execute better. For me, I like the dive comp, but whatever one they decide to choose, it's all going to be about execution.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And here we are on that favorite map of yours, the city center.
There we
that
go.
we talked about already.
You know what I love? I love getting like a soldier or an Ashe and going right up to that left point on the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's or even just getting a Winston and jump right there in the middle.
I love to run Reaper and just come up here and just kind of sit behind the wall
Okay,
by my
yeah.
spawn.
I
And
get it.
That's fun. And whoa, wait a minute, this is interesting. So we had kind of talked about this, and we had talked about Kairos is typically the main tank,
Yeah.
but we're seeing Mako stay on the Reinhardt.
And I don't hate that. Mako's been playing some really good Reinhardt over the past few weeks.
Fantastic.
Oh, we also have a Sombra on the side of PENN.
I like to see this with 122 B3. We need to come up with a nickname for that. Oh, here we go. The engage on the side though. Both teams going here. The hack. Did that go through? It did not go through here. But your typical early engage here. And already we're kind of seeing a bit of a difference with, for one, B on the Moira versus being on the Zarya and Kairos on that Zarya. Oh, first kill going to be Extrusion finding 122 here. Or is that an I? I think that's actually an I. K-Bree is going to be taken out. Burrito is dead as well. And Nadian is going to be the first to fall on the side of SEU. But Cold Flame makes it 3. Now, SU just looking to clean up here. That's going to be actually everyone on PENN dying during that first fight at one point or another.
Yeah, I think that fight, in my opinion, was over when they got the pick on the Sombra. You know, the Sombra is really good at just being that distraction in the back, but once that happened, they were able to focus all their attention on PENN, and it was over pretty quickly. I don't dislike PENN's idea of getting up on that high ground. You know, it just didn't work out. It was some right thinking, but in the end, you know, it didn't go the way they wanted.
Right. Oh, the hammer down.
Oh,
Going to find
shatter.
Diva. Going to cancel the Coalescence. And now B popping Coalescence to clean things up. Let's give you 2 ultimates, cleaning up the entirety of PENN in one fell swoop. Team kill, the announcer says. And really quick, I want to touch on it because right before that team fight hit off, 22 over there just fed Kairos some free charge. You saw that, right?
Yes, I did.
And I don't know what the point of that was.
For sure. And, you know, SU came out, they won that fight. But you know what I also like?
Pulse bomb?
Before we look at this pulse bomb.
Ooh. Could be hanging Cold Flame up, but it does die in response, but it doesn't even matter.
Now, as we give PENN a second to regroup, I want to explain what was really great about that fight for SEU, the one right before this one, was they were able to win that fight using as little resources as they needed. And it saved a lot of really helpful resources like the Pulse Bomb for the third fight. And it was just really great consolidating those and using them when necessary because it made future battles a lot easier. And that's part of SEU's success so far in the match.
Gonna be taken down so early in that fight, though. And Kairos is going to fall with both of your tanks down. That's a big problem. And now Extrusion, not gonna be able to make it out here.
Gonna go
and
down.
PENN taking the point.
For
At least,
sure.
Nadian. He's stalling. Not for long, though. It's always that awkward moment, the caster curse moment, when you call something out and then suddenly it's over.
And hey, that was a good stall. It gave them a free 4 or 5%, puts them at 99. So good job for PENN getting on that point. SU though only needs to take it back for a little bit, and I definitely think they have the potential to do so.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. But that EMP, there it is. It's not going to hit Extrusion, but the Earth Shatter will. Mako's going to be the first to fall in this fight, but 22 and Abstract follow for the side of PENN. Agape gets secured 2 with the Pulse Bomb, a Death Blossom kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Agape popped off right there.
That was just well executed. And note how the Death Blossom was just popped kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and even though it was, it just wasn't able to get anything done there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that was just a great job by SEU. You can't say much else. PENN did a good job of reclaiming the point, but SEU had the resources to take it back. They used their ults, and I thought, you know, I was just doing the math. Both of the teams kind of equal in ults at that point. I felt like it could have gone either way, but yeah, it did go to SEU there.
Yeah, no, definitely a good fight overall, though. Just, honestly, at this moment, it's SEU's ultimate economy. That's really on their side.
Exactly.
They're popping them when they need to be popped, no more, no less.
Yeah, I see they haven't been going into many of these fights raw. In other words, you know, with no ultimates available. They've always had some at their disposal, and you have to credit that to how well they've managed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is for sure. But really what I think needs to happen is 22 here needs to be a big playmaker. These hacks have to come through. But speaking of hacks, one on Extrusion, but 22 is going to have to jump out, and now Bean looking to get a kill on the Burrito. Burrito will, in fact, fall. Burrito, that's just a fun name to kind of cast.
Yeah, for sure. And B's going to be another one we have to keep an eye on. Somebody who's been playing tank for a lot of the season, as we talked about, switching to healer, a role he has played in the past, but one we don't often see him on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to see him a couple times on the Zenyatta, which unfortunately I haven't gotten to see yet. B, do me a solid and pick it. I know you can't hear me, buddy, but if you could, that'd be great. But that's not really what matters here. Is now Coalescence going to be sent out from Abstract here. Health bars are low, though, for the side of PENN. Extrusion, take it extremely low! The Graviton Surge is coming out, though. Mako going to be the first to fall, followed by Cold Flame here. Burrito looking to make some plays to hopefully get his Blossom charged up. But SU is going to be able to push them back and start securing some kills. It took a little while, but it happened in the end.
Absolutely. You saw B popping his Coalescence and return to the other Moiras. It worked out. It was a really great play by SEU.
Yeah, it took a little bit more. It took a shatter. It took a grab there. But in the end, PENN with the ultimate advantage right now with that EMP. But SEU does, in fact, take the fight.
Exactly. You know, SEU used what they thought they needed to use to win the fight. You could say maybe the grab wasn't necessary. Maybe it took a little bit more than they would have liked.
There it is. Oh, it's only a 3-man. Interesting. Only a 3-man. The Dragon's coming out from Agape and the Death Blossom as well. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be absorbed by the Diva, though. And now Agape and Kairos just have to back off.
Yeah, honestly, that Death Blossom, you know, SEU was just ready for it. You know, there was... excuse me, not SEU. My apologies. PENN was just ready for it. You know, they had the Diva there. They also had the Rhine there to do some blocking.
Yeah, just the shields and the defense matrix. Too much to burn through here. And now SEU with only one ultimate currently. Coalesce is popped early by Abstract here. The sound barrier in response from both teams. Hammer down. Only going to secure
Mako.
Burrito here. Self-destruct. Not going to be used, but the Death Blossom will from Burrito. And PENN holds the point and continues to force SEU to rethink how they want to take this engagement.
For sure, the match hasn't been going on for too long, but I think this is the first real hold we've seen from PENN. They've been able to survive a battle or two, and they're doing it quite nicely. As we look into this next battle, you do see some pieces that SEU could use. You have the Dragon coming up, and then you already have the Graviton. Maybe comboing those, helping to get a cleanup. That's my pick for what's gonna happen, but we'll just have to see.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see this self-destruct here. Like, oh, here we go. The grab is going to be launched out. And the Dragons! Look at the kills! That's 3. The self-destruct, though, not going to get anything. Just kind of forces SEU to move away.
And they will take the point. A really equal, balanced match. But hey, what did I say? We said we're going to see the Graviton followed up by the Dragon. It's been a really popular combo from SEU for a lot of teams.
It
just works.
Popular combo since Overwatch came out. I'm gonna be honest. As soon as people were like, "Oh, here we go, the hack." Coalescence though was not hacked. The hammer down, not going to really secure anything. But the dueling Coalescences, Mako going to be taken low, pinned and taken out. Agape low as well. Can SEU hold? Clearing the area. Die from extrusion. Going to secure 3. Just has to stay in a little bit longer, waiting for the team to get back. Not able to get 22 though. Nadian tries to hold on, but now, Agape, he's trying, and so is Kairos. Now, the overtime's going to tick down. SEU takes back.
That's going to do it.
Number 1.
And let's talk about that fight for a second. It went wrong, in my opinion, with the EMP. Didn't really do as much damage as they would have liked, because for one, the Coalescence was already popped, and the Reaper was already phased. So, you know, EMP just didn't do as much damage as they would have liked.
EMP doesn't do damage.
Well, what I'm saying is that it wasn't as effective.
Okay.
It was a poor choice of words.
Gotcha.
But in other words, it wasn't as deadly.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no. I think that's what I meant for the people back home. Just because...
No, yeah, I understand. It was a poor choice of words.
Yeah.
But you know what? We don't have to talk about being a poor choice of words as this rock, paper, scissors match.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alright, ready? This is the most...
And then we can do more.
Alright, best of 1?
Okay. Best of 1.
Best of 1. Just making sure it's in frame. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Get out of here. We'll keep our headsets, but just
like... Oh, okay.
Man, this feels good.
Yeah.
We're back, and I'm back better than ever as we hop into my better chair. How does that chair feel, Finn?
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, will I feel the same afterwards? Psh, who knows? Who can say? But one thing I wanted to say is, like, yeah, EMP positioning is so vital to the success of, well, just about anything, to be honest with you. And with that in mind, unfortunately only able to secure 3 members, and not being able to secure B, who had Coalescence up, that was the real kicker in that fight.
Exactly. And the thing is, I don't even know if it was positioning as much as it was timing. I think if he would have just waited a few more seconds for that Coalescence to time out, for Reaper to be in a spot where he could get hit, that would have been the difference maker. But I do agree that the EMP...
We're not going to Junkertown.
We're not.
We're going to Havana.
Havana, na na na. Havana, na na. Okay, then.
I don't know the words.
I don't know. I'm not basic.
Havana.
Havana, na na na.
Yeah.
Man, I like this map, and if we're getting a little bit hyped, it's because we're excited. This is, honestly, I think this is definitely a map though that favors the defense.
I'd say I'd agree. I definitely feel this follows the same 3-point thing where, if the offense is able to really get through that first point down the street,
for sure,
the brewery becomes a lot easier to push through.
Exactly, but you just look, right out of the gate, offense has the high point. There's so many great positions there, and you follow up, there's a lot of bridges, a lot of opportunities to get some cheap kills, whether it's from hooks or boops, which can, affect both sides, but I think it more benefits the defense because they're the ones who are past that already, if that makes any sense at all. But speaking of which, do you think we're going to see any Ball, any Lucio, to maybe try to get some bops off the bridges?
It's not too common with it only really being able to be done on that last push. I feel like the boops are going to be more of a kind of not a commodity, what's the word I'm looking for? A rare luxury on that last push there. But if we do get to see them, I'm going to be excited for it. That's for certain here.
Absolutely.
As the streets of Havana greet us.
This is just one of the maps that I love the design of.
Yeah. No, everything's pleasing to look at here. Like, look at all that. I will say really quick, as everyone's kind of coming about, I like how the cars are kind of that, like, old school style, but they're flying cars. It's interesting. It's kind of like the scene from Captain America where Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, is showing off the flying car of the future.
For sure. Oh, and we got the double sniper play from SEU. And that's a pick I really like on this map. I think, as I was saying, it's definitely more useful on this map than maybe some others. And I'm sure that if they don't get the shots that they want, they may switch off after that first point is claimed. But for now, I think it's a really good pick, and I think they're going to make the best of it. On the other side, we see the Sombra yet again. We also see a Lucio, and B with the Zenyatta. Yeah. What do you think about some of these players we got on the field?
I mean, I always love me some Zenyatta. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Is Zenyatta is my favorite. He's just so cool. He's fun to watch. He's fun to play. Just like getting some snipes here for Agape.
Looks like Agape has that pocket mercy ready.
Mm-hmm. You gotta keep your snipers healthy so they can deal damage, especially with that recent debuff or the nerf to Widowmaker. Agape going to be rezzed right here with that pocket mercy we talked about. Sombra, however, 22 says, yeah, I don't know about you, my friend. Now, Agape just looking for some hits. Sombra on the back line, though, is going to take him down. That's going to be Agape and B down. And it looks like SEU is going to lose this first point.
And that was a great job by 22 to right off the bat get the Sombra out. To right off the bat get the Widowmaker out of the way and get that Pocket Mercy out of the way. That really put a hole in the defense that SEU had set up, and it really helped them get that first point.
Look at this scouting job coming up from 22 here.
Yeah, 22, like I just said, playing really well this first match.
Oh, there we go. Ooh. He's just got Agape's number, and he is coming for him every single time.
Yeah, Agape, as I said, switched over to the Ash. Maybe, like I said, wasn't able to get some of the shots that he wanted, so felt it was necessary to switch, and that's something I can agree with.
Yeah. Note, though, Dragon's ready for both sides. Oh, the EMP, though, Extrusion going to be hacked. No dragons for him here. Mako hacked as well. That's the second time he's been hacked in a few seconds now. And now Mako just trying to make something happen. However, Kairos in a bit of a spot, has to heal up. He's got the whole hog for the zoning and the push. The hook to try and get the Sombra. Unfortunately, not going to get him. The hack coming through. Ooh. It's going to be enough to take out Mako. But is it enough to take out Kairos? It's not here. The heals are coming through from Nadian. And the damage boost, and finally SEU's starting to get some picks here. It took a little while.
For sure, and what we talked about a lot earlier on the stream is we said that a lot of points, it's like the first point is super easy to get, the second, the checkpoint, not as much, but then the third, reverse it. The first checkpoint is difficult to get, the second, not as much, but then the third is difficult yet again. I would say that Havana is one of those rarities where I think that the second checkpoint is more balanced out, where it can be a little bit difficult. There are a lot of choke points where you can really sit down and put yourself in a good defensive position.
I think definitely it depends a lot on the team comp you're running, who exactly is playing.
Of course.
That damage on the Kairos, though. But unfortunately, Abstract will be falling, and PENN now down a healer, and there's Sombra, and down in, well, not down in Ultimates, actually, excuse me. Just down players going to have to make their way back, is now looking to just keep him pushed off.
For sure. Now, we have a lot of ultimates, as you said, on both sides of the field. Based on how these players have been playing the match so far.
Boost. Here we go. This is the fight. This is the engagement they've been looking for here on both sides. The anti coming through on the K-Brew. EMP activated, only going to secure Mako. And Bob has been sent out here, dealing some good damage, looking to get K-Brew. Yes, it will, in fact, happen. That's 3 down the side of PENN. Make it 4. And SEU are holding on for at least a little while longer.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, based on how these teams have been playing, we didn't see a complete ult dump in that fight. They all had their ults. I think it was with the exception of 1 or 2 players. But they used them wisely. They used the ones they thought they needed, saving others for another fight. And now we head back into this next fight here. And both teams, aligned to do their best to make a pretty good push.
Yeah, no, PENN does have the ult advantage now with 3 ultimates. But with it being Sound Barrier, Shatter, and the Dragons, the only big combo is that Shatter-Dragon combo.
Yeah.
So it's all going to depend on if this Shatter gets off. Oh, the hack coming through for Mako, but they're not grouped up for the Shatter to really be effective here.
Yeah, and Snippa probably looking for a great place to use that Shatter, but look at how SEU's lined up. That may be a little bit difficult. They're kind of spread out. They're not so much grouped up, and that's really where you want to look for that Shatter.
Yeah. I think they have the game sense to be, hey, he's probably got Shatter at this point. Let's stay spread out. But Coalescence is going to be popped here. Going to be getting some damage on Canadian. Mako's going to be hacked.
There goes
and
Agape.
Now it's Agape going to be the one that falls. Self-destruct's going to secure 2 here. The Dragons are coming out and are going to secure 1 in response. But can PENN get the push through as Mako now nano boosted and the Valkyrie? The damage is coming through. Canadian close to death, but the Valkyrie keeping him alive. EMP going to secure a couple of hacks, but a couple is all she gets. And now Agape coming back with Bob. Is he going to be able to make a play with it? No, he's just going... Oh, he is. The Bob is going to be sent out onto the point here. It's got to make a play. It gets hacked, unfortunately, though. And now PENN has a chance to pull this through. Snippa just has to stay on the point here. They have to just stick around. And it looks like SC's going to give it to him.
And that was really well done by PENN getting that point. I did see Nadian tried to make a little bit of a risky res, just more in desperation to keep them from getting that second checkpoint, but it won't stop PENN. It won't stop PENN from securing it. Now they head over to this third point. Agape launching himself up, trying to get a snipe. Bandit,
that's for sure. But Agape, we've seen him having a bit of an unfortunate run here. 22, who just kind of looks for him and shuts him down in all of these fights. And now he's back on the Widowmaker. Looks like that's exactly what 22 is looking to do. Here we go.
If you're Agape, you have to be frustrated here. You're trying to get these shots, trying to get some picks, but 22 just has your number all night long, and there he goes again.
Yep, that's all it's going to be. Hammered down, though. That's going to be 3 stunned on the side of PENN. And now SE is looking to clean up here. Extrusion, looking for 22. Says, you killed my friend. Nope. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get it, and it looks like B is going to be falling before the fight can really end. But SEU takes the victory overall with 5 kills. Now, PENN has to look to regroup and make their final couple pushes here.
Yep, exactly. And 50 seconds remaining. They have time for maybe one more big fight, and they have the ultimates to do it. Still got a ways to go to get that final checkpoint, so we'll see what SEU can do.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the ultimates are even now. But, the beautiful EMP that's securing 5 members of SEU
And
here. They have to retreat. That's 2 that's going to fall. Both tanks are down. But with both support ults up and the dragons, they can look to try and make something out. Valkyrie is popped here. Heroes never die, says Nadian here. But is it going to be enough?
And we said that last EMP on the last match was what cost them the fight.
Ooh.
This EMP was what won them that fight there. It's not over yet, though.
The grab. Mako's going to get the nano boost here. This is what we need to see. The dragon's coming out as well. We go to overtime. The hammer down, keeping them off the point. They just need to touch. 22 just has to run in, but it's not going to be in time.
There you go. SEU gonna take round 1.
Yeah,
for
not a full
not
push,
the full
78.08 meters here. And now they just have to look to make it to the sandcastle.
Exactly. And let me tell you, that's a big win for SEU, not allowing them to get that third checkpoint. But now, SEU's got to go on the other side, and they got to play offense against, like I said, a map that really favors the defense.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely agree with that. But, just having to make it to the archway here, I feel from the past record of what we've seen, SEU has a good chance to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we did see SEU come out with the double snipers on defense right off the bat. I wouldn't be surprised if PENN does the same thing. We see they're figuring out their DPS right now. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see some snipers. Burrito is sticking with Hanzo. What's Baru going to go toward?
I mean, 22 is going to stick on the Sombra, which I think is a good
pick. Yeah.
Here, K-Brew.
Going Sigma.
To see the Sigma.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite skin.
I would agree with your decision to stick on the Sombra for 22. I think that's been one of the bright spots for PENN thus far in the match. But yeah, we'll have to see what SEU can do on the push.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't actually see a swap up from SEU here. Agape was just getting shut down so hard by 22 that game. As you can see, he's checking off the bat for 22.
Oh, yeah.
He is afraid now.
Agape is fed up with getting shut down, and we'll see if 22 is going to continue to pick on him.
Oh, look at his positioning, though. Look at him just looking for... Oh, unfortunate. And now he's kind of preparing for the come around here. But 22 looking to get the hack on the Mako. He, in fact, gets it here. Just giving some free charge to Kairos here, though. Already almost at full charge. This early into the fight, you don't want that. Oh, here we go. The push is coming through. They're looking to start getting some picks. Burrito taking a half. Sniper taking down below half as well. The heals finally coming through from the gas. Here we go. The damage. Burrito is going to be res. The first casualty of war here. Agom putting a Govnestein. And there we go. The full charge. Zarya damage comes through. And PENN just falls. I feel like... Oh, no. We don't watch those. We don't watch those.
Yeah, and we talked about what a difference maker Kairos was going to be on this team. And he's come out here and shown it to us.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we watch a lot of Zarya here on all of our Overwatch games, but she's just... Oh, the
Agape
flick.
looking for his revenge.
This is now the story of...
I've really liked this Agape 22 narrative. It's been very entertaining.
Yeah. I gotta say... Oh, 22!
22 gonna take another round against Agape. Agape just praying for the bell.
Yep. Just kind of... Ooh, here we go. SU being pushed off. This is kind of what I expected more so to see last round, where it was kind of the opposite, where they had a better time pushing through the starting area. I expected this, where it was going to be a tougher push. So, it came through eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, extrusion.
We've
got a lot of ults here. We've got the dragon. We've got 2 dragons actually. Then we have that nano, and of course you have the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you, Finn. What do you think is the best way, as the Valkyrie goes off, to use a Valkyrie in a competitive situation?
Sure, Valkyrie is kind of like the coalescence here. You use it when engaging in a team fight. It gets the healing and damage boost. And, speaking of damage boost, that nano boost on Sniper, not able to get a whole lot. They finally get Mako dead eventually with it, though.
And
now-
Agape
Ooh.
has made the switch from Widowmaker to McCree.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? I know he wasn't getting a lot done with Widowmaker, but do you think McCree's the right character to swap over to?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's not only the right pick, but a really good pick here. This area is a lot closer. You can stick with Hanzo. He can thrive a bit better. Oh, the EMP, though, because he was revealed. Going to be taken out by Kairos, though. Kairos will be taken down, and that'll be 3 members falling on side of SEU. Make it 4 as Nadian falls as well. But Mako is going to charge out and live to fight another day here. But as I was saying, as now 5 ultimates ready for the side of SEU, McCree is better in this kind of more medium range area. That's where he thrives. He's got the hit scans, but medium range is where he's at. He wants to get in, get those flashbangs, get the fan of the hammer, and this is what lets him do that.
And let's give some credit to 22. That was a great EMP from Sombra, although it did cost her her life. Still, really got the job done.
Oh, here we go. The Dragon Grab combo from SEU. It's going to get 2, but 1 in response. Burrito says, my dragons are cool too. Now, just looking to clean up. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's
That
my team.
let me tell you, throughout this entire day, that Dragon Grab has really been the bread and butter of SEU.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of been their go-to. And oftentimes you'll even see Extrusion, if he has his dragon, waiting for Kairos to get the grab so they can combo those. It's been successful. Like you said, it is a really common combo. And you may say, it's used a lot, but that's just because it works.
Yeah. Oh, Nano Boost. I did not see who that went on to. The Nano Boost onto Lucio, actually.
Okay.
Alright, it's happening. Mako is actually the first to fall in this fight. However, I will say K-Brew out of mech, though. And now Nadian with the Valkyrie popped. Agape's going to fall as well here. And SU losing this fight. The res coming through on Agape. Mako going to be walking back. They're looking to stay here. Kairos still low. Finally going to be taken down. SU continuing to take this fight, though. Sleep Dart going to fall on a dead corpse, unfortunately. K-Brew taking out mech again. Going to fall. 22 trying to make something happen, but has to leave. Now, SEU able to get the point, the payload pushed towards the point here. It's Mako. Oh,
Mako's
he's
gonna
a sleepy
sleep.
boy.
And while we have a second, I want to talk about something I noticed there in that last fight. Is we saw Kairos go down, but B was there to heal him. He just missed a lot of shots and wasn't able to. And those are the kind of shots you want to hit. And
Yeah.
those are the times when you can really turn the tide of a battle. And just wasn't able to get it done there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kairos was just...
Oh, and there's the Diva Bomb that's gonna
Ooh,
take the
charge.
life of no one.
Yep. Yeah, but no, Kairos just unfortunately behind a wall. And when you're behind a wall, you're not going to get healed at all, my friends. And that's just how it goes in the world of Overwatch. So whenever your healers say, hey, I can't see you, make sure you find a spot, if it's safe, where they can see you so they can actually heal you. Now, the final push. Oh, look at 22, though. EMP's ready. Going to reveal himself here.
Wow.
Gonna take out Mako.
I'm so impressed with 22 and the way that he's played Sombra today. Been a real difference maker for PENN.
Yeah, I would definitely say 22 is the big playmaker here. And we've talked about this before with SU. Sombra is kind of their downfall every time. Both times where the opponent to SU has gotten a good lead or has done really well, it's because they've had a really good Sombra in the mix.
And that's really what I've been talking about, is as good as this team is, I still think that they haven't reached their potential yet. There's still so much for them to accomplish, and so
Hammer
many
down,
heights they have
but
yet to
there's not going to be a
reach.
lot of follow-up here as the EMP comes through. Hammer down both sides, but it's going to be SEU that fall, all thanks to the EMP. Wow, that was over as quickly as it began with the shatter from Mako and then Snippa, and then finally that EMP just to clean everything up.
For sure, and that's going to end this fight. Remember, SU doesn't have to get it all the way to the end, but still has a bit of ways to go with about a minute remaining as they jump into this fight with an ult disadvantage. But you do have that Graviton waiting, and Extrusion does have his dragon. So I think we all know what that means.
Yeah, we all know what that means, and we know what this means.
my
We've seen it
goodness.
before, we'll see it again.
And again and again.
Oh, here we go, though. Now, the fight's really kicking off. The dragons consume you. That's going to be a kill in response here. That's going to be double kills. Here we go. Just kills back and forth here. It's 2 for 2. Now, and SU is going to actually be the ones backing off here due to the fact that when you're on attack, you got to really level it up. But Mako, he's going back in. He's taking out K-Brew as well as he can, but 22's over there, looking to make something happen. And
and there's the EMP extrusion. Says, I'm not Agape, so I can snipe you.
Yeah, he says, you know what, you may get off the EMP on a couple of our members here, but I'll get the kill on you. Shatter, though, coming out from Snippa. Now it's going to be Ana for Ana in this fight. But here we go. Now they're falling one by one. PENN falls.
Watch 22 there. Oh, and there's the dragon.
Dragons for the zoning.
Ooh. Agape finally
Getting
getting some revenge. I feel like, honestly, as SEU claims that round, I really think that this Agape 22 thing, it's kind of like that scene in Winter Soldier when you have Captain America jogging and just keeps saying on your left to Sam as he's running and just continually says it. Like, that's just what it reminds me of, Yeah. And I'm sure, Agape, if you're watching this stream, you're great. 22 has got your number today.
He's going to come up to me later and be like, you know what, you're right.
But as the round ends, you know what time it is.
Yeah, it's time for everyone's favorite part of any esports stream. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Right.
Just stop. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Aha! You didn't expect the paper twice in a row.
Yeah, that was my thought process, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna see that coming, but I was like, I can't get too meta with it. I can't just keep on. I can't way overthink things. But
no,
then,
I'm on the currently rock paper scissors is in a paper meta.
Oh, it's in a paper meta.
Yeah, it's in a paper meta because it used to be a scissors meta. Every single time people pick scissors.
What are you saying? Just stop.
It's always rock meta.
It's always rock meta. It's time to rock and roll with rock paper scissors. I'm just gonna.
Okay, just stop talking.
Anyways, no. I like these Monday recordings, such as they're more chill. We just kind of like.
We should make it a TV show. Just coffee and Overwatch.
Coffee and casters.
Coffee and casters.
Casters and coffee.
Actually, I really don't like coffee, so can we do like tea and
We
casters?
do hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate and
cold out
casters. Cocoa and casters.
Cocoa and casters.
There
Let's
you
do
go.
it. Let's make it a thing. Let's go to Ethan with it. Can we do like a podcast? They have those like on legit esports things. Let's make it a thing.
Esports podcast.
If you're watching this and you're a student at SEU, go find Ethan Kador and be like, hey, I really want Cocoa and Casters.
Cocoa and Casters with Austin and Finn.
Yeah.
Just where we talk about dumb stuff like this.
And then occasionally bring in esports stuff.
But,
it's Kings Row again.
But as we wait, Kings Row, let's talk about this matchup.
Okay.
Honestly, if you know what this means, if SEU wins this, they are moving on in the playoffs.
You know who they play next? Most likely?
Tell me.
I believe it's Boise State, from what I heard. Which, from what I've heard, they're like a good team.
They're a good team.
So
but here, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of Overwatch to be played.
No, PENN's definitely playing well, though. They're really playing against the strengths.
Let's talk about
SEU. And once again, we brought up before, remember that time on Junkertown where it was the EMP into the Death Blossom ultimate. Yeah, that was a killer, and finally we're seeing Sombra brought out against SU again. It's been a while, and that's really been the big issue.
It's been their Achilles heel for sure. If we were to talk about sort of MVPs for each team, I would say 22 has played really well for PENN. Obviously, Snipa, is it Snipa or Snippa? I think Snipa.
I think that's Snipa.
I think it's Snipa, like
Snipa.
Snipa. But anyway, going back to 22, yeah, I think really has done a great job on Sombra. I do think that SEU needs to learn how to counter that because it's really going to burn them if they do make a deep run into the playoffs. And sure, you'll run into games like PENN where if not everybody's doing their job, you can deal with a good Sombra. But listen, if you're in a real battle on your hands, one good Sombra can end that battle for you as quick as that. And we've seen this happen a few times to SU today. So definitely something they've got to deal with later on. And hopefully they'll try to adjust, as I'm sure we'll be seeing the Sombra continue in Kings Row.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Sombra's got so many places she can go and hide. You've got these hallways in the back here that just kind of peruse the entire map. You've got indoor areas like here. She can hide back here. You can hack that health pack in the corner there and leave your beacon there. and then just make your way.
And
Hey,
this was the map where I first talked about the sim meta. So do we have anyone on sim? It doesn't look like it.
they haven't picked yet.
Oh, they haven't picked.
Agape
Are we gonna see
Extrusion.
the sim meta?
Oh!
No, he's not going Bastion. I know
Counter
you're...
Sombra.
Oh, Extrusion going Sombra. And Agape going Reaper. I actually really like this loadout.
I like this a lot.
We haven't seen this loadout a lot from SEU. But I'm excited for it, not gonna lie. Here's the question. Do you think Extrusion's gonna go straight for the Sombra? Or do you think he's gonna kind of wait back a bit?
No, I think Extrusion has the correct mindset of being in Sombra, and you go for the people that need to be hacked, so that would be Sniper on the Reinhardt to get rid of that shield, or maybe the Reaper so he can't Wraith walk out. It will just kind of depend. I find it interesting here looking at the tanks and supports, because that's the only difference between both of the teams currently, is that there's the more AoE healing focus of SEU here, and then kind of
in 22, probably trying to get an easy pick to start off the match.
But B says, not today. I'm not Agape. And now, B once again, we haven't focused on him too much. But, Agape's going to be antied. He's going to survive, however. And PENN are going to be the ones that fall here.
Was that a damage ball we saw by B?
I believe it was.
Because that was a huge damage ball because they were all clumped up in that corner. A great place to put it.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people complain about some Moira saying they are too much damage. I'm only a damage ball Moira, and I'm more on the side of healing balls, but I do agree that there's a time and a place. And let me tell you, that was the time and place for a damage ball.
Agape over here checking for Sombra. Where are you?
I love how
there she is,
paranoid.
right behind him. Oh, this is great. Coalescence is
Add that
coming
to her
up,
when
though.
you don't think they're watching. I've never seen Agape more paranoid as 22 does go down.
Yeah,
to
22
B.
does fall. Oh, the grab in the corner! It's a massacre! It's SEU just burned through them. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, I'm still chuckling to myself about Agape in the corner. They're just shooting random, like just sporadically. And then it's 22 always in like the opposite spot of where he's shooting.
I know, this has been one of my favorite things to watch here.
Like, come on, just turn around and shoot.
This is a bigger rivalry and like revenge story epic than the Count of Monte
This is
Cristo.
like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
What?
That rivalry.
I don't know that rivalry. I was making a literature reference.
It's a sports reference.
Well, I'm more of a book man myself.
It's like Obi-Wan
Oh,
Kenobi
the
and
hack!
Darth Vader.
It's going to be 3
Is
people.
that a
The sound
reference you
barrier does
understand?
come out, though. It's a little late to save Mako, but it's enough to save the rest. EMP in response. It's going to be another 3-man EMP. Death Blossom coming out from Agape, going to secure a couple of kills here. And, in fact, PENN is going to have to... Hey, though, look, it's that staggering. Stagger the baby diva. That's what you do. And, I honestly thought she was going to get away for a sec there. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Kairos. Taken low, finally taken down.
Kairos pushed really far in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see that setting in of kind of the getting a little... I guess I'll use the word lazy.
But
here we
there's
go.
the shatter!
Only securing 2, but we'll secure a kill. Die. Hacked. And, it's just a little bit of a back and forth now. 1 kill on each side. Finally 2. Going over the side of SEU. Extrusion, though. Taken low. Is he going to be able to live? Yes, he is, but not for long as he's caught in that back room there. Now, Kairos and the gang just pushing him back. PENN has to start making a push here with only 40 seconds on the clock. Oh, Agape goes, it's my turn!
Agape does get a kill on 22! Oh, you love to see it.
Wow. You could not have written a better ending to that story.
It's a great story. It's like... I feel like it's kind of like... I'm not going to give another sports reference because we know how tired you are.
No, just... What's another rivalry? Sasuke and Naruto?
I don't know what that is. Maybe like...
Goku and Vegeta?
I don't know what that is. Maybe like, Finn and Austin.
Or us versus the...
Rival casters. Who's going to be the number one?
The number one caster.
The number one.
Oh, here we go, though. Agape has the Death Blossom. He's
and
gonna pop
nice
it.
Death Blossom that
here.
only does secure
It's just
one
a bit
kill.
of zoning tool.
Yeah.
Now, K-Brew, the last remaining member on the point here, going to be zoned off. Coalescence is out, and so is the round.
Wow.
SEU with a perfect hold.
shutout by SEU. And I don't completely hate the loadout that PENN had, but maybe some players with because they had players with verticality.
Yeah.
They had guys like they had guys like Diva and like Reaper that could get around, didn't have to flush that narrow space, but there was just something about the way they went out at it. Maybe not the coordination they would have liked.
Sure.
Either way, it didn't work out for them. But like I said, and I've been talking about this first point on King's Row, really hard to get because of that narrow entrance. And it's just the way you attack it that's so important. And that's why I brought up the sim the sim strat, because I think it's a great way to get by that.
B, you are doing me all kinds of favors tonight, my friend.
B.
He's playing my other favorite support.
Yeah.
It's the Baptiste.
It's the Baptiste.
I'm so excited. Oh, look at him.
Oh, and he's showing us. He's doing the emotes.
He's playing Death Stranding currently. The little.
I haven't seen a lot of Baptiste play on this team.
No, he's been out of meta for a while now, but with the recent buff, he can kind of come back with the, increased recovery speed on both the grenade, or increased recovery speed on the fire, on just normal fire, 1 damage nerf, that's whatever, and the increased healing. Oh, he swapped.
But it's like Oren, our Overwatch coach, said, any character here, you can go and get away with playing almost any character. Meta here is really, it's not as, there's no one meta as there usually is in seasons. Right now, it's kind of almost anybody who you can be good with.
Yeah, it's not as cut and dry.
And note there are exceptions to that rule, but...
Orisa.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Health bar's low on both sides of the field here. Sniper, first to fall here, followed closely by Kairos. And now we see Agape just looking to finish off. Oh, he's not going to be able to get it, though. His abstract
hard.
stays alive. Now Mako just swinging on the point. They just have to get to 76%. The hammer down, only going to secure K-Brew. But, hey, that's a kill they will take. And now just trying to keep him off. They just need a little bit more in the playoff first game.
This could be over quicker than any of us thought. Can he get there? Looks like he'll be there just in time.
They're contesting. Oh,
but that's going to be it. SEU wins. SEU Fire Esports Overwatch advances in the playoffs over PENN. Wow. Can this team be beat? I mean, well, they were beat last week, but can this team be beat in the playoffs is the question.
It remains to be
That was a that was a shutout in that last round.
PENN
couldn't get anything done. And that's going to be what, right there, Kairos is going to be what helps them get the win. The player that they've been looking for all season, and the player that arrives when they most need it.
Yeah,
Put that on a bumper sticker. Put that on a Hallmark
Kairos,
card.
the man we need here when we need him. Man, what a fantastic first round of playoffs here.
Absolutely. PENN put up a valiant effort, but
we get to move on. We get to cast more.
We get to cast more.
Okay, yeah, the team advances, whatever. We get to cast more.
Okay,
right?
Finn. I see how it is.
No, I'm just kidding.
But we don't get to cast more tonight because SEU has taken the win. What does that mean for us, Finn?
Well, that
we
means...
do one more rock, paper, scissors?
Let's do it. To finish off.
Okay, let me just do some deep thinking right now.
What would Finn pick? What would I do, Austin?
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I knew it! I told him. I heard the rock meta, and I said I'm gonna trust Ryan in the back. The rock meta is going to be the win. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's gonna be the win. And with all that in mind, though, that's gonna do it for us here. So my name is Finn Barry.
My name is Austin Clokus.
And we will be seeing you next time, specifically for Overwatch on Thursday. Don't forget to tune in. It's gonna be a good time.